Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this lesson, we are to learn addition of matrices. Before you start to add the matrix, you must make sure that the two matrices that we are adding, they have the same dimension. In other words, they have the same number of rows and same number of columns. Only then they can be added. So let's look at the left matrix. I believe you have two rows and two columns. And on the right, you have also two rows and two columns. After that, then you can add the two matrices together. Okay, what is the principle of addition of matrices is that you are going to add the numbers that are at the same spots or corresponding spots. Looking at your left, you have this number in the first row, first column. So you are going to add the number that is also in the first row and first column. So you have 2 plus 3. And then look at this in green, second row, first column, and second row, first column. You are to match them. And so on. You have 4 plus 6. And lastly, in red, you have 5 plus 7. And you are to find the answer of this and determine your final solution. I believe you should have 5, 8, 10, and 12. Moving on, we are to look at our second example. You have a 2 by 2 matrix and another 2 by 2 matrix. Only then you can start addition. So we are to add their corresponding parts. So minus 2, row 1, column 1, plus minus 3, row 2, column 1, minus 3, plus 2. Row 1, column 2, 4 plus minus 4. Row 2, column 2, 5 plus 1. And you are going to perform the addition. Minus 2 plus minus 3 gives you minus 5. Minus 3 plus 2 gives you minus 1. 4 plus minus 4 gives you 0. And 5 plus 1 gives you 6. And that is the final solution. Moving on, we are to learn subtraction of matrices. So we know that subtraction is the opposite operation of addition. So you need to satisfy the condition that both matrices are the same dimension. In other words, they should have same number of rows and column in order for us to subtract the two matrices. And using the same technique, we are going to subtract the corresponding values in each matrices. So before we subtract, I would like to determine the order of each matrix. Looking on the left, you have two rows and two columns. So 2 by 2 matrix, so as a 2 by 2 matrix. Only then you can start to subtract. Looking at the numbers in orange, first row, first column, you have 2, and you are to minus 3 in your second matrix. We move on to the green. So 3 minus 5. To yellow, 4 minus 6. To red, 5 minus 7. You are to perform operation in this matrix and get your final answer. 2 minus 3 gets you minus 1. 3 minus 5 gives you minus 2. 4 minus 6 gives you minus 2. And 5 minus 7 gives you minus 2 also. And that is the final solution for this. Moving on, we have another question. And before we begin the subtraction, I would like to start by determining the order of each matrix. I believe 2 by 2 and 2 by 2. Then we start to subtract the corresponding numbers. So row 1, column 1, minus 2, minus, minus 3. Row 2, column 1, minus 3, minus 2. Row 1, column 2, 4, minus, minus 4. Row 2, column 2, 5, minus 1. We are to perform the subtraction. Minus 2 minus minus 3. So minus 2 plus 3 gives you 1. Row 2, column 1, minus 3 minus 2, minus 5. Row 1, column 2, 4 minus minus 4. 4 plus 4 gives you 8. Row 2, column 2, 5 minus 1, 4. That is your final solution. Moving on, we are to multiply a constant to a matrix. So the rule is simple. You are to use this number outside the matrix and times by each entry inside the matrix. So let's give yourself a try. You are to distribute the 2. We start from row 1, column 1. So you have 2 times 3. Row 1, column 2. You have 2 times minus 4. Row 2, column 1. You have 2 times 2. And row 2, column 2, 2 times 0. And you're required to do the multiplication and get the final entry as a single number. So I believe you should get 6 minus 8, 4, and 0 respectively. Moving on, we have another question. In this time, your constant is a negative number, and you are to use the similar way. You are to distribute this constant into each entry in the matrix. So this is row 1, column 1, and row 1, column 2, you have minus 3 times minus 3. Row 2, column 1, so minus 3 times minus 4. And row 2, column 2, minus 3 times 5. And in a square bracket, you are required to perform multiplication inside the matrix. And I believe you should get minus 6, 9, 12, and minus 15 respectively. And that is your final answer.